And then I'll tell them what you said.
Alright. So I'm from the suburbs, and like I guess I was like sheltered all my life, and I didn't grow up around like the gang violence that a lot of the like interrupters did. And so like what would be your advice? Because I'm going into education, so like for me to like teach these kids that I can't or they can't relate to me. So like what would be your advice in getting them to realize that I really do want the best for them, and while I might not have that experience firsthand, I know what's best for them, I guess.
That's a really good question. That's a really, really, did you all hear what she said? Y'all heard her? So y'all didn't get a chance to jack it up and leave your eardrum on. I still got some young eardrums. So my advice to anyone that have not been there and done that, you've been somewhere and have done something. So therefore, we all have, the mercy of Allah is wonderful, you know what I mean? We all have attributes. We all have, my husband speaks about this in a way of fingerprints. There's not a fingerprint. You may walk past somebody and they may say, you look like somebody I know, or is your sister this or that? Okay, fine, we may look alike, but we're not the same people. So if you would go into education, and it's a real hard time right now to go into education because of, as the sister talked about, the economic strain, the teachers are not getting what. Remember that you're going into education so you can want what's best for, if you're gonna go into the hood, don't go in the hood acting like you're feeling sorry for a little poor black kid or a poor Latino kid, because they eat your ass up. They have you paying their mama's rent, condo, everything. You be walking around barefooted, no coat, and it'd be sub-zero. They get you, and they get you good, okay? So you go in there with an ear to hear them on what needs that they may need to be addressed. Because I strongly believe, me personally, as a mother, I believe everybody needs an IEP. Who knows a little bit about education now? Yeah. IEP is individual
education placement.
That means that everybody, if they had this piece of documentation and the team can help a certain child, then it wouldn't be standardized testing and, because there's some kids that honor roll students and then they take that damn asset and fail and they fail the whole grade. What? So I strongly just suggest if any of you all are going into education and, don't go in there feeling sorry for nobody. Don't go in there, with a captain, S on your chest like I come to say, because they get you. They mamas will get you, they grandmamas will get you, and they aunties will get you. They will be direct deposit accounts coming out of your account to something that they set up, okay? Listen to what they need. Fight hard for them to have the resources that they need, an IEP. I think every child needs an IEP. Some of the teachers do too, but I just saying, I think, because you all, the teachers, you gotta move fast, you got, and some kids don't move at that level. I have a 14-year-old, Malik, smart. I would tell him as he was growing up, he's a genius. But Malik, my grandmother is a diehard Lutheran, so when I'm calling her, because I'm wondering what's taking you so long to bring him home, because she drives him back and forth, and I'm checking in, she says Christmas hasn't come out yet. So if you know anything, Christmas comes once a year, but for kids that celebrate Christmas, it comes slow. It don't come quick enough for them to get that tree up and open them presents. So, my son is very smart, but he moves slow. And he can give it back to you in a way that is just will blow your mind. But because he moves slow, if he didn't have an IEP, they would fail him. Because he get it done. So that's what I strongly suggest for you, sister. If you go into education and you're dealing with the poverty-stricken children, you fight for them to get an IEP. I don't care what it may look like on paper. You make sure that if they got a behavior issue, because see, that's why you got a lot of 14 and 15-year-olds when you go in the city, even hell out here in Evanston. 14, 15-year-olds, you see them and they supposed to be in school. What are they doing? On the block, on the corner, in front of the store, at McDonald's. What are you all doing? They got kicked out. You got kicked out? Why you get kicked out? Because I cussed at the teacher. You cussed at the teacher. Well, you know, they said I cussed the teacher out. Saying this shit is stupid is not cussing the teacher out. But that's a defense mechanism to get out of that classroom so they won't have to, because they can't understand how the teacher is teaching that lesson plan, that curriculum that the principal bought that cost all that money, and them kids can't understand what that curriculum is. So those young guys and girls are cuss and storm out, and then they'll do that too many times where they'll get a suspension, then it'll turn into an expulsion, and then they're out in the street breaking in somebody's stuff, getting into all kind of mischiefs because a idle mind is a devil's workshop. Next question. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I was right there with you, brothers. Wait a minute, hold on. I go. That's heavy. See that? Break your back right there.
How do you do it every day? With all the negativity?
How do I do it every day?
Yeah, with the same enthusiasm.
He said, how I do it every day with all the negativity, and I know I'm assuming he's talking about when you wake up in the morning, you hear in the news of what's going on our streets, as well as what's going on over in Islamic family countries, as we hear about all that, and you know, he says negativity, but I say what he really wants to say. He really wants to say all the bullshit. That's what he really wanted to say. Okay. So, for the very reason why I told this sister to make sure she keep up why. For the very reason that I know that when I was a youngster, what I got into. So that was a couple of years ago. So things have increased a lot. The type of drugs that's being used, the type of music that's being listened to, because I was a youngster maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And we listened to Rakim and NWA, and we listened to things like that, and house music, and but things was conscious a little bit back then. So I get up and I get up every day. The night before now may sound in my head a little bit different. I'm gonna call in. I got some vacation days. I ain't doing this shit. I'm gonna be at home for Rashida. I'm gonna be home for Malik. I'm out here fighting for these other people's kids, and they don't care shit about their own kids. So I'm just gonna take a couple of days. So when I get up and I hear our superintendent, McCarthy, that come from Jersey, and his goal and plan is to lock up anything that looked like the poverty, African American, Latino, Indian, whatever. His job, that's what he want to do. Keep throwing little bullshit cases on them until they get a felony. So I get up every morning thanking Allah for His mercy that I did take that breath and regain some coherent consciousness First thing, that's how I do it. Second thing, my day is about educating. I'm not about to lecture to nobody. I ain't about to tell nobody, not even about the dean, the sisters that, my husband is the sheikh. So I have a responsibility. Either you want this thing or you don't. And that's the way I have to give it to them. Either you want to stay on the streets and stay alive, or you want to go to the penitentiary and be in a room that maybe is the size of where that projector is, from the stage to the wall, from the wall to the projector to the wall, and have a bunk bed, and you in there with another person, with a toilet and a sink. And sometimes people take care of their disposing business in the mornings before you are let up out of the cell. Your cellie is taking care of his morning or her morning disposing business. And that cell is smelling like somebody's ass because you didn't listen. You smelling somebody's shit because you didn't listen. So that's why I get up every day to talk to our young men and let them know that I know and I understand that Shaitan is doing what Shaitan do. We gotta fight. I'm fighting. I need you to fight with me. You gonna fight with me? Then let's fight. That's why I do it and what I do every day. Next question. Yes, ma'am.
First, I wanted to say thank you for being here.
Oh, first of all, I just want to tell you that cut is smoking.
Thank you.
That's what I want to tell you.
Thank you, I appreciate that validation. I wanted to know, what do you do for self-care? Because I currently am doing some activism. I'm an intern for a teen dating violence program, and we work in Inglewood. And sometimes I just get tired and I get bogged down, and I need to actively participate in self-care, and I'm constantly looking